Hello, welcome back in my channel Tech Talk with Nathan. Here you have all the information related to DevOps, Kubernetes, and so on. Today we are going to talk about Ingress. In my last video, I talked about pod deployments and services. So as you can see on my screen, I'm sharing the official documentation about Ingress, but I will just summarize in a few words to say that Ingress is in Kubernetes like an API object that gives you external access to the service inside your cluster over HTTP and HTTPS. So without Ingress, you will need to do load balancing by yourself and expose multiple pods for each services, which can be very, very messy. So you can think of Ingress as a smart entry point. It gives you and it helps you to define routing rules that map incoming traffic to the right service based on host names or URL paths. So Ingress resource alone does not do the routing. So you need an Ingress Controller. So the Ingress Controller is the component that actually implements the routing rules. The popular one are Nginx, Traffic, and many more. So in summary, Ingress resource defines the routing rules for you, and with the Ingress Controller, you can enforce those rules and route the traffic accordingly. In this demo, we will first see in the simple way how you can create an Ingress object, and then later we will introduce TLS certificate and host name. Let's start. In my last video, I have used Minikube to do the demo, so I will continue to using the same tool. I'm running Minikube start. Yeah, Minikube start with add-on. So I will come back when the installation is finished. Ingress is now enabled. If we do kubectl, you will see that we have the component that has been installed. Now let's create our first simple Ingress manifest. You need to specify the Ingress cast name, and then you have to specify the path, and here the backend is the service name that you want to have access to with the port. Let me apply the manifest. So it's created. So you can see that the object has been created. We can test it. So I'm grabbing the Minikube IP address. So you can see that we have the welcome page of Nginx, which shows us that what we just did works. So the next step will be for us to, instead of having an IP address here. We will set up a host name, and then we will also create certificates to have secure connection. So let's move on to the second step. So for this second part of our demo, we will be enabling first the Ingress DNS that I have already done. Then we will create some additional components. I want to create another deployment with a simple Hello World app, and then I will enable some services for Hello World app. I will create an external name. Why this service external name? So basically, this external name is a way in Kubernetes you can create a DNS alias. So let us apply the files to create our different components. Okay, now let's get the service. First, let's get the deployment. So we have all the components that has been deployed. We have the services. We have Ingress deployment, all these objects. Now, one thing that we need to, my laptop doesn't know this hello world example.com. So example.com does not exist. So what I have done is I have updated my etc host, and in my etc host I kept the IP address. This is the IP address of Minikube, and you can see if I ping, I can reach out to, this is the IP of Minikube. Now what I want to do is I want to test it if this hello world app example.com is set as expected, but there's no HTTPS enabled. So the third step is to enable HTTPS. For us to enable HTTPS, we need first to generate certificates and then deploy those certificates to our cluster. So what I will be doing is I want a set manager to create certificate for me. What you usually do in production environments, you use set manager to distribute certificates across the Kubernetes cluster. For that, we need to install set manager. So I will use the static from the documentation. I will use the static install. The pod are being created. So let's wait and see. Now all the components are up and running. So after we have created set manager, the next thing that we need to do is to create certificates. So let's generate a CA certificate. You'll use Open SSL. Change SR. We will call it ca.key. Use 4090. Let's generate the certificate. The root certificate. We open SSL. Request. Text. Name new. Let's create the root certificate for 1 year. Okay. Out. Okay. Okay. I want to install them on my machine. Now the circuit I updated. So what I will be doing is I will create an issue. Before creating an issue, I want to create a secret in Kubernetes in set manager namespace for this root certificate. Example.c equal okay. I have my certificate created. Now The next step is to create the cluster issuer. Here I'm creating first cluster issuer, and you need the secret name, so the secret name that we have created before, and then I'm creating the certificate that the application will be using. Call it Wilka the example certificate. It's example.com. Okay. I will change it here. Okay. Now let's create the issuer and certificate. So we can see that the issuer is ready. If we get certificate, so this one also is ready. Okay. You can see here the secret has been created. Let's update the Ingress with the new secret that has been created. So I will add in here a new section called TLS. We reapply it. English. So you see how we install the certificate. In the privacy and security, you can check for security, manage certificate, and I will import one. Now the certificate has been installed in the browser. I will test the Hello app. So you see that the Hello app now has a certificate. We are now at the end of the demo. In this demo, we have been able to create Ingress object with DNS name and certificate. I hope that this video has helped you understand more how you can set up your application with HTTPS and Ingress. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.